Hi, Temba. Well done. Um, it seems strange you being the aggressor and not Kuni. What that was nothing to do with his hand.
Uh, I don't think so. It was quite brave of obviously Quinny to go out there with the situation he had with his finger. Quinny seemed like he struggled to kind of get going. You know, he wasn't his fluent self, hitting a lot of balls to fielders. And I guess for me, from my side, I think I was seeing the ball quite nicely. Tried to score in my areas as much as I could, and I guess that helped, you know, ease things from his side and allow that partnership to grow.
Last one, you had a very long talk with the coach the other day here on the wall, sitting here on the grass bank. What was that about?
A chat with the coach. Yeah, we spoke before the game. Like I said, you know, it's obviously been an emotional roller coaster the last couple of months. And I guess for me, it was just being vulnerable to the coach, telling him, you know, where I see myself, how I feel about everything. It helps that, you know, I've worked with Shukri before, and I guess he helped me kind of cut through all of the nonsense that was happening in my head, and really mentally make sure that I was there for the game, for the series.
Temba, you mentioned that you obviously had fair amount of input also from your teammates, just helping you formulate the strategy. But in a way, also, do you feel that your break and getting back into things has also given you a bit of clarity? Because it seemed like you really had a good plan for the first ODI and batting first, and here you decided, okay, let's take a chance, let's bowl first, you know, and check if there's any moisture to be extracted. And even with your innings, you know, is there sort of like a bit of a liberated clarity, you know, that you felt in the series today?
I definitely do feel that. Like Johan asked, that conversation that I had with the coach Shukri, that helped clear up everything that was happening in my head. I think being out of action for the last 2 weeks, being at home, being away from the game, I think that's also helped me from a mental point of view. Being as fresh as I can, physically probably not in the best shape, but mentally I felt that I've been good. And I guess, you know, people always talk about self-reflection and all of those things. I guess I went through that process, and I guess I've come in with a bit more open towards the team and how we'd like to go about it. I think for me, there's also a feeling of, you know, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Like I mentioned, the last couple of months have been quite crazy, so sometimes you plan for certain things that don't happen. But I think from now, it's try to give my all to the team, to everything out there, and whatever happens, really.
Just the last one from me, Temba. In terms of the team effort, I mean, there was Josh Butler talked about how Classy and Aiden, you know, and even David Miller, you know, came in and immediately actually got runs. But so obviously their contributions are very important. But I was just wondering, in that, not necessarily helter-skelter, but those team's death moments, you know, were you like quite chuffed to see how David was just like guiding, you know, an excitable but sometimes nervous, you know, Rookie and Marco Jansen, and just playing balls on their merits?
Yeah, I think ideally we probably would have wanted to finish that game with 2 or 3 overs to go. Marco obviously wasn't able to get those a couple through, faced a number of dot balls. But I think what we liked out there on the dugout watching him was the intent that he showed. And we knew the other guys as well were going to play the same way. David again showed his experience, he showed his class, and he was there to take it to the end. So I think, yeah, a lot of guys chipped in. It was a good performance, all-round performance with the bat and even with the ball.
Hi, Temba from ENTA. Shukri talked about not putting pressure on you guys with the qualification, and a number of the players have also brought that up. Just in terms of the changes you did make to this ODI compared to the first one, especially when you think of Sanders' omission, how much of that was a factor in not feeling the pressure to have to win the matches?
Yeah, we've definitely made it clear to ourselves that our focus is going to be on the how, or on the process, not so much on the outcome. Obviously the outcome is important, but how we're going to be judging ourselves is how we go about our business. I think the coach as well, he's made some brave calls, you know, resting guys, which is quite good. it's nice to see new faces go out there and do the job, and that's really, when we talk about building the depth within the team, that's what you want to see, guys going out and do it in pressure moments. So I know within the 50 over space we haven't consistently done well, but I think performances like these will really go a long way to give us that confidence, and really for us to believe that we can be amongst the best in the world.
So it's just the decisions around the team just rotating the squad.
Yeah, so that was spoken about before even the series started, more particularly to the bowlers, to rest those guys, make sure they're as fresh as possible. The batters, not much has really been spoken from that point of view, but the bowlers definitely, it's about rotating the guys and, like I said, giving the guys the necessary experience.
Perfect. Before we go online, it has just dipped again, I'm assuming within the Wi-Fi, so we're just going to give them a chance just to quickly reset it, and then we'll be back up and running.
Can we ask a question?
Oh, in the meanwhile, yeah, we can take it back to you.
So I know Neil asked the question, but can you talk us through your 100?
Talk you through the 100. Like I said, I felt it was a good wicket, and with the conditions being such, we knew we had to come out and play. That opportunity was there. There were a lot of runs on the board as well, so that also kind of encouraged us to go a certain way. Like I said earlier, I was seeing the ball quite nicely, and I was just trying to score within my areas. Obviously took a couple of chances that didn't come off, but I tried to be as brave as I could in terms of how I played, and just tried to extend it for as long as I could. Yeah.
I just asked one of those questions, sorry. Temba, I know there's euphoria and there's obviously a lot of credit going around, for a very early series win, which is great, obviously. But I suppose you guys won't be too chuffed with conceding 34 extras.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that is obviously quite alarming. That's something that we'll definitely be speaking about, whether it's the fact that guys haven't been playing 50 over cricket, they're coming out of T20, but it's no excuse. That's something that we definitely had to speak about, and it can be costly in different situations. Yeah.
Okay, great. Temba, you mentioned clearing your head in that chat with Shukri, and very many congratulations on your great knock. I know you always try and shut out outside voices and outside noise and that. But how hard has it been over the last little while, considering just how vicious some of that outside noise has been?
Thanks, Ken. Yeah, like I said, it has been a crazy last couple of months. And I think, obviously, emotionally, it can be draining, it can be taxing. And I think as much as you try to pluck out everything that's out there, it does find its way to get to you. I think probably the biggest one is when it affects people around you, with the family. That's probably the biggest where it's quite tough. I think for me as a player, I probably have my ways of dealing with it. Not that it doesn't affect me, but I think I have my ways of dealing with it. But I guess it's just, a part of the journey, a part of where I am at the moment. I think I'm quite a resolute guy, so whatever comes my way, I try to take it within my stride, and always try to put my best foot forward.
Thanks, Ken. And for those of you online, we will share the video briefing afterwards, so don't worry that you can't see Temba at this stage. Cool, we'll take the next one. We're going to go Stu, then Telford.
Thanks, Lucy. Well played, Temba. So you mentioned the nonsense going on in your head. What did Shukri tell you to do to eliminate the nonsense going on in your head?
Thanks, Stuart. He never really said much, to be honest. It was just him kind of giving me an ear, and just hearing me out. It was more about validating, the feelings that I've had. But then I think the biggest thing is, getting your mind into the right state to actually play the game. So Shooks is not a therapist or anything like that, but I think what I enjoyed with the conversation was just the honesty and the clarity that he gave me in the chat.
Thanks, Stu. Telford?
Thanks, Lucy. How's the Temba? Very well played.
How's it talking?
If you can just talk us through your celebration at the moment when you got to the 100. We've all seen you jump to the sky like that before, but then you were smacking yourself between the shoulder blades and punching the Protea badge, and the look on your face was just priceless. Can you put those feelings into words?
I'll try. I think, like I've been saying, it was quite emotional getting to that moment. Celebration wasn't planned per se, but I think for me, it was just a reminder to myself, a reminder to everyone that I am still here, and I still deserve to be where I am. It's not something that I planned, probably just happened subconsciously, but yeah, it was just a reminder to everyone out there.
Thank you, Telford. To hear.
How's the Temba? Well played today. Just also on the 100, we know 7 years ago it meant a hell of a lot to the country when you got 100 at Newlands and all of that, but did this one almost mean more to you personally, considering everything that has gone on? And then secondly, just on Shooks, he's obviously in an interim role, but you guys have developed a relationship. Is that a little bit difficult to go forward when you know there's another guy coming in again afterwards?
Thanks, Ayed. I'll start with the second question. I think the conversations that I've had with Shooks, conversations I've had with Rob, have generally been along the same lines. They speak the same language. And I guess with Shooks, because maybe I've worked with him, I know him a bit more, I was able to kind of allow myself to be vulnerable around him. He's definitely challenged us, as players, especially the batters. And it's nice to see the guys facing up to that challenge. In terms of the 100, it's probably up there with one of my better ones. I think obviously to play a hand like that in chasing 340 is obviously, you kind of need to play well, and obviously as the captain as well, you want to be the guy that kind of leads from the front and really inspires the other guys through their performances. So yeah, that was probably one of my best.
Thanks. We're going to take the last couple of questions now, starting with Fido's chat, then we're going to end off with Ken again.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Temba. Well batted.
Thank you.
When you speak about the roller coaster of it, I mean, a lot of people haven't played professional sport and sort of wouldn't know what that feels like. I mean, are you able to say a little bit about kind of what it felt like to have some lows and then come into a high? Like, what is that emotional journey about?
I think as much as not all of us are athletes, not all of us play at international level, but I think we all go through periods of ups and downs. Whether it's in your career, whether it's in your family life. So I don't think it's really too different. It's just the difference with us is that it's within the eyes of everyone, and everyone wants to have a piece of you. I think for me, it's just trying to deal with it as much as you can. I'm trying to be not as emotional as you can. It's probably a hard thing, but really just trying to see things as plainly as they are. I think blocking out the noise, that's obviously something that you got to do, but I mean that's obviously quite impossible, especially me in the situation that I find myself in as being a captain, being a leader within the team. But I think I'm sure other people there have gone through what I've gone through. They're going through what I'm going through. The biggest thing, you just got to find a way to keep going forward. Don't give up, just find a way to keep going forward.
Thanks for those, Chad.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Temba. Congrats on the ton.
Thanks, Chad.
And also the series victory. Just looking at the two matches, I'd like to know what are you most pleased about, from the team perspective, and then looking at your individual performances as well.
From a team's perspective, I mean, I think there's a lot of positives that we can take out. Like I've said, you know, with the coaches, they've challenged the players. They've asked the players to bring their A game and step it up, and you know, it's good that the players have stepped up to that challenge, and that's the batters and the bowlers. Coaches asked me to kind of be the person that leads all of that, and I've tried to do that through my performances in these 2 ODIs. Still a long journey for the team, still a long journey for myself, but I think we just need to keep building on this confidence and momentum that we have gained as a team.
Thanks, Chad. And then last one for Ken.
Thanks, Lucy. Temba, just on commentary, both Ashwell Prince and Sean Pollock said it's the best they've seen you strike the ball today, the best ball striking performance from you. Would you agree with that? And what do you think was behind that?
I don't know what was behind it. I wish I knew, but I think it was more from the mindset point of view. I think just looking to score, looking to dominate the bowlers in your areas, and just trying to back that plan for as long as I could. I was definitely hitting the ball quite nicely, and I think that's obviously a nice feeling to have as a batter.
Great, thanks Ken, and thank you Temba. The audio and video files will be shared shortly, and then it is a travel day tomorrow, so we will be back at it on Tuesday ahead of the third